Welcome back to the Day Trading Blueprint. If you're thinking about getting started in day trading, but you're overwhelmed with all the info out there, don't worry. In this video, I'm giving you the complete beginner's guide to how to day trade, everything that you actually need to start, and we're going to go over how to do it in the right way. Before we talk about charts or strategies, we've got to talk about mindset. Trading is a business. It is not gambling. You will lose, and that's okay. It's normal to lose. Every successful trader has had to lose in order to gain the skill of trading. It's not something that'll come natural. It's not something somebody can just hand to you. They can hand you a blueprint to it, but you're still going to lose until you learn how to do it. It is a skill. You want to manage your risk. You don't want to chase wins. And we'll get into risk management later on here in the video, so just stay tuned for that. And you want to focus on your progress, not perfection, because compounding small wins will add up, and eventually those small wins will get bigger and bigger. So don't start out trying to make $4,000 a day. Start out, target maybe 100 or so a day. In reality, you never want to target a specific number. You can, but it's not ideal, because then you're chasing that number all day, and if you don't get it, then you're emotional, and you do not want to be an emotional trader. Emotional trading will lead you to losses. Okay, now let's get into the tools, what you actually need to get started trading. So first things first, you're going to have to decide, do you want to go through a broker or a prop firm? And I'll link another video up in the corner to where you can click that if you don't know the difference between a broker and a prop firm, and I cover absolutely everything about the difference between a broker and a prop firm and things like that. Alright, but we're going to cover a little bit in this video as well. A broker is trading with your own capital, and a prop firm means you're trading with somebody else's capital. Basically, you pay for a challenge, and if you pass, they give you X amount of dollars to go and use to trade with. They fund you, and a broker, you fund yourself. Alright? And there's something called demo accounts. So you can practice without real money. Instead of risking your own capital right when you start, you should open up a demo account and practice and get your skill down pat, so that whenever you go in to the markets with your own money or even with a prop firm, that way you don't lose your money or blow your prop firm account. Okay, so now let's get into charting platform. This is pretty much what you're going to A, watch your trades on, and B, place your trades on. So for me personally, and most other traders, we watch the charts on TradingView. Why we use TradingView is because most of the other charts are based on TradingView. So if you just watch it on TradingView, you get it straight from the source, and it is just a lot better. But there are many different options out there. Just for me personally, I prefer TradingView. And now the hardware needed to actually trade. What do you actually need to trade? Well, you can either have your basic laptop, you can use a desktop, or if you don't have any of those, you can start on your phone. It will be harder to start on your phone, but you can still do it. So the basics that you need are just simply something that can connect to the internet, and you can download TradingView and access a web browser through. Now, journaling tools, because you always want to journal. You want to journal every trade. And a lot of people write it down on pen and paper, right? So you can either old school, grab a piece of pen and paper, a journal, and journal all of your trades. Or you can use tools such as Notion, Spreadsheet, or Edgewonk. All of those work as well. And so that's everything that you actually need to trade. Okay, and now we're going to get into strategy. And with strategy, don't think that you need the most complex strategy out there. Because truly, you do not need the most complex strategy out there. Right? A lot of the simple strategies, almost all of these simple strategies, are profitable once you learn how to use them. So stick with one setup and focus on one setup until you are profitable with it and it works for you. Keep jumping from strategy to strategy, setup to setup. You're never going to fully learn one. So it's going to take you a lot longer to become profitable rather than if you just targeted and stuck to one strategy, one setup. Not necessarily one setup on the chart, but one strategy. When I say setup, I'm referring to strategy. And then another thing that will really help, only focus on 1 to 2 pairs. And once you start going all of that, once you start going over that, you start to dish out too much time and stuff to these other places, so you're never actually getting enough time and experience in the market as you should. For example, I trade gold and Forex, specifically JPY and Forex. Those are my 2 pairs, and I do not really adventure outside of them. And I've been doing these 2 pairs so long that I have them down pat. I can make money on them every day, pretty much any time of the day, because I've been focusing on only 2 pairs ever since I started. And that has allowed me to learn how these 2 pairs move to a T. Because each pair moves in certain ways. And if you spend enough time looking at that, then you'll be able to determine how it moves and read it a hell of a lot better. So stick to one strategy and only 2 pairs. That right there is all that you need for strategy. Remember, 2 pairs, one strategy. So now let's get into risk management. This is the part that everyone skips, and it is the most important part. Risk management is what separates traders from gamblers. Some things that will really help you with your risk management is only risk 1 to 2% per trade, right? And make sure that your risk to reward is good. You don't want to risk a 1-to-1. You would rather have something like a 3-to-1. That way, you can lose 3 trades, but then 1 win will cover all 3 of those losses. Rather than if you have a 1-to-1, if you lose 1 or 2, you have to win that same amount back in order to actually put you back in the green. So proper risk management is very key. Make sure that you always use a stop loss and to learn position sizing. I will have a video up here soon on position sizing and how to properly scale an account. Okay? And why it's good to have risk management. Now, moving on to mentorship and community. Speed up your growth. You do not have to do this alone. You don't have to figure it out alone. Yes, a lot of traders do, but no, you do not. You do not have to go about learning trading all alone, and it doesn't have to be a journey in the dark. You want to find either a community to trade with or a mentorship that you get that hands-on, you can do live, you get live teaching and things like that. If you do not have one of those, I do offer a program. It's only $50. That's it. You get access to absolutely everything. I don't do it for the money. I just love teaching it. And then if you don't want or don't have the money to do that or go through somebody else's mentorship, then I suggest finding a trading community. And in the description of this video, I'm going to link a community with over 160 people in there. Most of the traders in there are profitable. So you can go in there, it's free of charge, absolute access to everything in there. Connections, people, discuss strategies, trading plans, and all that stuff. So that'll be linked in the description of this video. So if you need a community or are looking for a free community, we have that and feel free to join it. And with all of that being said and over, that's the real blueprint to get started trading correctly. Like, subscribe, and leave me a comment to tell me where you're at in your trading journey. This is the Day Trading Blueprint, where traders are made, not born. Y'all have a good night.
1-on-1 bitch at 18, 1-on-1 never again. 1-on-1 get the kick in the butt.